topic is the Amitabha Sutra. We might recite the sutra every day, but what does it really mean to us? In this class, we will use O.E. Master's commentary of Amitabha Sutra to learn about the meaning of the sutra. The sutra talks about the three pillars of Pure Land Buddhism of faith, vow, and practice. In the beginning, it gives a full-scale description of the wonders of the Pure Land to arouse our faith, to really believe in the existence of this land. And it tells us to make real vows of wanting to take rebirth there. And it teaches us how to practice and recite Amitabha Buddha's name in order to reach our goal of rebirth. Now let's look at faith. First, we learn about all the wonders of the Pure Land, such as the jewel pond, the water of 8 merits, the ground that's made out of pure gold, and the birds that are singing the Dharma. How did all these come about? So it says 4 times in the sutra that this land of ultimate bliss is complete with all these adornments and virtues. The O.E. Master's commentary, it says, with his great vows, Amitabha creates the causal basis for sentient beings to multiply their good roots. With his great deeds, he creates the conditions for sentient beings to increase their merits and virtues. There are a couple of factors here. It says in the sutra that we cannot have minor good roots, merits, and virtues and cause and conditions to go to the Pure Land. So we need to have ample of these in order to take rebirth there, because these are the ingredients that makes up the Pure Land. It's actually a joint effort between Amitabha and us. So Amitabha is helping us with his 48 great vows and his great deeds of 6 paramitas. He creates the cause and the condition. When we recite his name, it multiplies our good roots, which is our bodhi mind, and increase all our merits and virtues. That's how the Pure Land is constructed. There are 3 inconceivable powers here. First is the power of Amitabha, his great vows and great deeds. Number 2 is the power of the Amitabha Buddha's name. And when we recite it, that's how the power is transmitted to us. And the third power is us. When we recite, it creates good roots and merits and virtue in our own mind. That is how the Pure Land is produced. So we need to have faith in the 3 inconceivable powers. There is a Russian boy, he's 15 years old, has no hands, but he really wanted to play the piano. He doesn't know how to read music. He just listened to the sound and tried to imitate. And he really did it because he believed that he can play the piano. So if you have faith, you can accomplish anything. Believe in the 3 incredible powers, then chanting Amitabha Buddha's name is really creating the Pure Land for us. Number 2, vow. There are 3 major benefits that motivate us to make vow to go to the Pure Land. Number 1 is everyone that is reborn there, we immediately reach the level of Avaivartika, which means 3 non-retrogression. Number 1, we will never retrogress in our position of Arhat, who is a saint that is out of reincarnation forever. Number 2, we will never retrogress in our bodhisattva practice. No matter what happens, we will always have our compassion of wanting to save all sentient beings. Number 3, we will never retrogress in our mindfulness. We will always have the wisdom of the Buddha as our mind. Once we get there, we immediately achieve these 3 non-retrogressions. So that's the first major benefit. Number 2, we will be someone who only has 1 more lifetime to go before Buddhahood. We will be like Maitreya Bodhisattva, the successor of Shakyamuni Buddha. There's only 1 Buddha in every world. When we get to the Pure Land, we are guaranteed to be a Buddha elect. Number 3, we will be together with all these beings of superior goodness. All the ordinary people are with the holiness. Saints with their desires extinguished, we will be with them. Over here, it's really hard to find a temple or a teacher who really knows exactly what you need. But over there, they are all bodhisattva who knows exactly what you need to practice. We will work to end our ignorance and our delusion and reach wondrous enlightenment together. With these three major benefits, we want to make real vow to be reborn there. In summary, making vows with deep faith is precisely the mind of supreme enlightenment. Our Pure Land vow and our Pure Land faith is precisely our Bodhi mind that will bring us into Buddhahood. So going to the Pure Land means reaching Buddhahood. Shenzhen master of the Tang Dynasty, he really wanted to learn more Buddhism that was not in China at the time. He took a pilgrimage from China all the way to India. He experienced insurmountable obstacles. Many times there was not a bird in the sky and not an animal on the ground. It was just him and the desert. He kept reciting the Heart Sutra. He went through all the obstacles, reached India and brought back the Yogacara Buddhism, which is the conscious-only school of Buddhism. He was the first Chinese master of the school of Yogacara. If he can do that, we can chant Amitabha and go to the Pure Land. It's the same Bodhi resolve, the same Bodhi mind that will make us become a Buddha. Number 3, practice. We need to recite Amitabha, Buddha's name, wholeheartedly. There are 2 ways to recite the Amitabha's name. Number 1 is on the phenomenal level. Rely on him 100%. Just like a child rely on his mother, he has no doubt that this person with the smell will take care of him wholeheartedly and he's in no danger. So we rely on Amitabha. That is on the phenomenal level. Number 2 is the level of inner truth, to know that Amitabha is in our mind. When we produce the Buddha's image, our mind itself is the Buddha. So our mind is Amitabha. That is chanting on the inner truth level. If we can really believe this as a fact, when we recite Amitabha, it will have infinite merits. Old Master says, when you use the name of Amitabha to summon virtue, all the virtues are engendered. When you recite Amitabha's name, all Amitabha's merit vicariously become yours. Every time you make the sound Amitabha, Amitabha is right in front of you. His light is glowing and you are glowing in his golden light. He merges with you. You are together as one. Your Buddha nature emerges. That's the amazing experience of every one of your recitation. So one recitation is one inconceivableness. The key is to chant Amitabha single-mindedly without confusion. Chant single-mindedly, wholeheartedly without confusion. We are being confused by our daily experiences. For example, if we have a bad day at work, we might just forget about chanting. All the unpleasant experiences in life delude us, clouds us, and confuse us, and we forget about our goal and our mission of becoming a Buddha. Don't let anything get you off track going to the Pure Land. Monitor your faith and vow constantly. So single-mindedness means determination of wanting to become a Buddha. So lastly, I would like to share a story. In 1933, there was a Mr. Cheng. He was a Pure Land practitioner. He wanted to devote all his time in his practice, so he gave the family business to the younger brother. He just focused on chanting. He learned how to expound the Amitabha Sutra. 6 years later, one day after he finished expounding the Amitabha Sutra, there was only 5-6 people left. He said to his friend, "Please rent me a room. I'm leaving now." Curiously, his friend asked, "If you're leaving, why do you need to to rent a room. He says, I'm going to Amitabha's Pure Land. I don't want to die in someone's place, so please rent me a place. His friend said, why don't you just come to my house and we will gather all the practitioners. They can watch you and see how you go to the Pure Land. They all went to this friend's house. He just sat there in the full lotus position. People asked him, do you want to say something before you leave? He said, no, just watch me come and go freely. Just witness it and believe in it. And he sat there with a smile on his face. For less than 15 minutes, he passed and went to the Pure Land. His younger brother, who didn't believe in him, after he witnessed it, he wanted to learn from him. After 3 years, that also happened to his younger brother. He also knew ahead of time his day and time of his rebirth. Everyone can do it. Have these 3 pillars of faith, vow, and practice. When you recite the Amitabha Sutra, know what it means. Here's really the Pure Land, and this is your lifetime goal. Today is New Year's Eve. Hope everybody make the New Year resolution using this lifetime to chant Amitabha, to go to the Western Pure Land and reach Buddhahood. So that's the class for today. Thank you for listening. Happy New Year's. Amitabha.